Good evening, dear teacher. Nancy Ludeña one more time to talk about my lesson plan number 4. In this opportunity, that topic is with second or baccalaureate, and we are going to contextualize the passive voice. First of all, I am going to present the objectives because it's very important to know what do you want to do to the students at the end of the class. For speaking, students will be able to ask and give information about all tradition and customs. In the same way, they will be able to identify concepts they have already know while listening attentively. That is for listening skills. For reading, students will be able to complete passages by placing words into the context. And finally, in the writing skills, students will be able to write a paragraph about remarkable memories and events in past. The methodology and strategies, that's very important. Introduce the vocabulary, the communicative language teaching to talk about traditions and festivals, and the grammar translation to explain some important points of the grammar. As strategies, as you can see, we have the visual scaffolding. That is a methodology presenting through pictures and images, and they are going to construct the knowledge into and previous knowledge. The whole class for reviewing and answers with the teacher, and pay group maybe in the worksheet or when they have to work in the workbook. In the first part, teacher presents some flashcards about some tradition festivals, for example, Christmas, Carnival, or some kind of parties, or New Year's Eve, or maybe the Saints' Day, or the Holy Week. They are going to talk about unforgettable moments in this traditional fest. That is as anticipatory set. And after that, into the main teaching input, in the warm-up activity, students, according to the pictures, they are going to answer some questions. And what are the most intelligent students who can answer all these questions? For example, what do this old tradition of customs refer to? For example, what is the tradition of the Christmas? What is the main purpose? Or maybe what tradition do they celebrate with the family? And how do they celebrate Carnival, for example? Maybe in some countries that is a folkloric festival, like in Esmeraldas. What about the Saint Day? How do they celebrate this festival, spend this time with the family maybe? And what about this Independence Day? What are the characteristics to this festival? Okay, so after that, in the assignment teaching input, we have to talk about something about vocabulary, about reading and listening for last writing skills. In the first part, we are going to talk about appeal of tradition. In this case, a teacher show the picture of the book, and they are going to infer what is the correct word of the word bank, okay? Maybe they don't know each word, but students can infer according to the picture. That is a scaffolding strategy to visualize, to guess the meaning. In this case, for example, they are going to complete letter B, livestock, letter E, for example, lantern, letter A, parade, and so on. They are going to complete with the correct letter of the word bank into the picture and matching the pictures. In the reading activity, with the same vocabulary word, they are going to complete some spaces in blank. And after that, teacher can ask them some comprehension questions about the reading, okay? And who is the main people who maintain this tradition alive? That is a good point to introduce the grammar and the passive voice. According to the reading, a teacher and students are going to complete the grammar charts, like in this case, and emphasize which is the use for the passive voice. Okay, so in this case, teacher reminds them the passive voice is used to emphasize action. And when the door is not important, but the action is the important in this case. And what is the grammar structure? So in this case, as you know, the passive voice have to use the auxiliary and the past participle form of the main verb. With the statements in the previous reading, the student's going to complete with the correct verb to be could be in present or in past, according to the reading or according to the context of the sentences. In this case, houses are decorated, and please, students realize that decorated and invented correspond to the past participle of the verb. Okay, houses are decorated with red paper. Or fireworks, because in this case it's plural, and where is the past of the verb to be. Fireworks were invented in China to scare away evil spirits. Okay, that is an interrogative form, and students to introduce the total performance of the action in passive voice sentences, they have to use the preposition by. For example, in this case, fireworks were invented by the Chinese in the 7th century. Teacher presents a grammar chart like in this case to explain how the active goes into passive voice. Okay, so in this case, the present simple is I make a cake. So please, students have to take into account that a cake is the object pronoun, and this is going to be part of the subject in the passive voice. Okay, so look at the verb. The verb is in present simple. So in this case, the verb to be is in present too. Okay is singular, so in this case is made. And that is a good opportunity to remember about some irregular verbs, the three forms, in present, in past, and in participle, like in this case, may, and some verbs. In present continuous, in this lesson is not in present continuous, is only in present simple and in the past simple, but is a good idea to remark also in others kind of tenses. So look at this past simple, I made a cake, that's the same. Look at which is the object pronoun, in this case, what is the object, sorry. What is the object after the verb a cake? It is going to be a subject in the sentence in passive. A cake was made. Okay, so with that, teacher can enter the modeling. Students have to read this paragraph and change the paragraph from active into passive voice. Students do it with the help of the teacher. In this case, for example, every year, Peruvians celebrate the Festival of the Sun on June 24. In this case, a student's answer could be, the festivals of the sun is celebrated by Peruvian every year, maybe. Okay, and they are going to continue transforming the active sentences into passive voice. For guided practices, teacher would recommend do a work on the workbook. That is the unit number 4, and they are going to complete in pairs or in groups. They are going to complete about the appeal of tradition, the main festivals, and the grammar with the passive voice. For independent practice, teacher gives students live worksheet, like in this case. They are to choose the correct structure in passive voice. For example, in this case, Romeo and Juliet, that is a book, that is a play. So in this case, they have some options. So in this case, is written by Shakespeare. This picture, in this case, students have to take into account the subject. Pictures is plural, and the context is in the past, last Christmas. So in this case, we're taking. Or the reports, in this case, that could be, are typed by the secretary. The garbage, that is every day that is present. So in this case, the garbage is collected and students going to complete the rest of the worksheet. Next, for finish the class, students are grouped into 4 or 5 students, and they are going to talk with a partner or in the same group about main traditions in their country. And after that, they are going to make a writing type of, that's a kind of project. In this case, they are going to choose one important event or one important tradition, one important festival, and they are going to write about it. They are going to write about memorable events for them with passive voice. That is all for today. Thank you.